Welcome to True Life Lessons, where we explore the deepest corners of the human soul to find wisdom and peace. Meet Harris, a 60-year-old laborer whose weathered hands tell the story of a lifetime spent carrying burdens far too heavy. Every single day, he lifts weights that would crush a younger man, believing that his endurance is his only value. He walks through the dust and heat, convinced that stopping for even a moment would be a shameful sign of failure. For decades, Harris has carried a philosophy as heavy as his cargo, believing that silence is the only true strength. He watches others rest with a judgmental eye, telling himself that he is superior because he does not need to pause. Deep inside his mind, a harsh voice constantly whispers that rest is for the weak and comfort is for the lazy. The sun beats down mercilessly, yet Harris refuses to seek shade, treating his own body like a machine built for suffering. When he stumbles, he does not offer himself grace. Instead, he feels a surge of anger toward his own human limitations. He stares into the mirror and scolds the tired man looking back, calling him pathetic for feeling the need to sleep. This war against himself did not start yesterday. It is a battle he has been fighting since he was a young boy. He isolates himself from the joy of connection, believing that solitude and hardship are the noble path of a real man. His body screams for attention and care, but Harris interprets these signals of pain as evidence of his personal moral failure. Even in the quiet of the night, his mind races with self-criticism, denying him the peace that he so desperately needs. He wakes up before the sun, fueled not by energy but by a grim determination to prove his worth through suffering. The weight on his back is heavy, but the weight of his own expectations is the burden that is truly crushing him. He rejects help as if it were an insult, convinced that accepting assistance is an admission that he is no longer useful. Pain shoots through his chest like a warning bell, but he silences the alarm, forcing his body to stand up again. The world begins to spin around him, a clear sign that he has pushed past the limits of what is humanly possible. Ironically, he treats his tools and equipment with great care, ensuring they last while he drives his own body to ruin. He has compassion for the stray dogs on the street, feeding them gently, yet he starves his own soul of kindness. The moment he returns to himself, the compassion vanishes, replaced by a cold and ruthless dictator living inside his own head. When he makes a mistake, he punishes himself physically, believing that he must pay a price for every moment of imperfection. The cold rain soaks his clothes, but he refuses to seek shelter, thinking that endurance of the elements proves his grit. He is shivering not just from the cold, but from a deep internal depletion that no amount of willpower can fix. Ahead lies a great ancient tree, offering a sanctuary of dry earth and protection, beckoning the weary traveler to finally stop. His body finally makes the decision for him, collapsing under the ancient branches, forcing him to surrender to the earth. Lying there in the dirt, he feels small and defeated, convinced that this collapse is the ultimate proof of his failure. Through the haze of his exhaustion, he sees a pair of feet approach. It is a traveler, walking with serene purpose. The stranger sits beside him, not with judgment, but with a calmness that seems to quiet the storm inside Harris's mind. He offers water, and for the first time in years, Harris accepts help without fighting it, his thirst outweighing his stubborn pride. The wise man observes the well-maintained cart, and then looks at the broken man, seeing the tragic irony of the situation. He asks a simple question that cuts through the noise. Why do you treat your tools better than you treat yourself? You oil the wheels of your cart so they do not break, yet you grind your own bones into dust without mercy. Harris looks at his hands, realizing for the first time that he has become a tyrant to the only body he has. The traveller continues with a lesson. A lamp that burns without oil does not prove its dedication, it proves its foolishness. When the oil is gone, the wick burns itself out, and soon there is no light left for anyone to see. Tears well up in Harris's eyes as the truth hits him. He has been destroying the vessel that carries his life. Kindness to oneself is not selfishness, the traveller explains. It is the necessary maintenance that allows you to keep on giving. The wind rustles through the leaves, seemingly whispering an agreement, confirming that nature itself rests in order to grow and bloom. Harris takes a deep breath, inhaling the peace of the moment, allowing himself to simply exist without the need to perform. The wise stranger departs as quietly as he arrived, leaving behind a seed of transformation planted deep within Harris's weary heart. Harris is alone again, but something has changed. The silence is no longer an enemy to be filled with self-loathing. He stands up and dusts off his clothes, this time with a touch of gentleness, treating his body like a friend. He looks at his heavy load and makes a revolutionary choice. He lightens the burden, leaving behind what is too heavy. He walks slower now, his back straighter. He is no longer racing against a clock that only exists in his mind. He stops to eat, not just to fuel the machine, but to enjoy the simple pleasure of nourishment and rest. His colleagues are surprised to see him pause, and drawn by his new calmness, they gather around him to share stories. Laughter replaces the grunts of exertion. Harris discovers that connecting with others gives him more strength than solitude ever did. When a young man offers help, Harris nods with gratitude. He finally understands that receiving is also a part of giving. He returns home while the sun is still in the sky, reclaiming hours of his life for peace and reflection. That evening, he tends to his sore feet with warm water and care, thanking them for carrying him through the years. His mind is no longer a battlefield. He reads by the window, allowing his thoughts to drift like clouds in the sky. Sleep comes easily now. It is no longer an escape from pain, but a gentle restoration of his body and spirit. Paradoxically, by doing less, he achieves more. His work is better because it comes from a place of balance, not desperation. The world mirrors his internal change. As he becomes kinder to himself, the people around him become softer and more helpful. He passes the wisdom along, telling a struggling stranger to rest, becoming the wise traveller for someone else in need. Harris is still a labourer, but he is no longer a slave to his own harsh judgments. He is finally free. The difference was not in the weight of the boxes he carried, but in the weight he allowed his mind to release. He looks in the mirror and sees a friend. He has learned that you cannot pour water from a cup that is empty. Just as the earth needs winter to rest before the spring bloom, we too need moments of stillness to truly live. He returns to the tree not to collapse, but to give thanks. The shade is now a place of peace, not refuge. He understands now that suffering is not a badge of honor, and taking care of oneself is the highest form of respect. Life is a delicate balance. To give to others, we must first have something within ourselves to give. We must be whole. Be the lamp that has oil. Keep your flame burning steady and bright, not by burning out, but by nurturing your light. Harris's story is a reminder to us all. We are often our own harshest critics, carrying whips of our own making. Listen to your heart. It beats for you every second. Do not repay its loyalty with neglect, criticism, or endless abuse. Wherever you are, whatever your burden, remember that you are worthy of rest. You are worthy of your own kindness. Do not wait for a collapse to teach you this lesson. Put down the heavy load for a moment and just breathe. The world will keep spinning if you take a break. In fact, it might just become a brighter place because of it. Treat yourself with the same compassion you would show a stranger. You deserve to be loved, especially by your own self. Walk your path with gentle steps. Be strong, yes, but let that strength come from a place of love, not fear. May your lamp always have oil, and may your light shine long and bright for all the world to see. Thank you for joining Haris on this journey of awakening. We hope his story has lightened the burden in your heart. This is True Life Lessons. Subscribe for more stories that touch the soul. Until next time, be kind to yourself